Will be fantastic. Stick around. We're going to be talking about all of the news over the weekend and some you probably haven't heard. We'll be right back. Remember, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. All right. With that out of the way, what is going on, guys? My name is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. If you're not getting notifications, make sure to get ours. Again, if you're watching the replay because you got the notification 8.5 days late, make sure to get ours. You can go to marfooglenews.com and sign up for not only our push notifications, but you can also sign up for our email alerts. If something was to hit the fan and we absolutely knew it, we would let you know through that system. Of course, if it's going to happen in 30 minutes, we don't have EAS, so again, this is more for stuff that we have a complete and utter warning for, and we're absolutely sure of. We would let you know through that, and our newsletters and things like that, articles, would all go through that system. And then, of course, if you want to follow along tonight, we're going to be covering a lot of news, and we always back up what we say. We take the time before every single show to make sure that we have every single source for every single article, video, tweet, right there on our website. And it's very easy to navigate. You just go to this thumbnail, Our New Horizon, and of course the show is called Looking Forward and Backward. And when you click that, you'll see that we have every single article link, tweet, video for your access, including web-only content that is not coverable anywhere. In fact, if we covered it, we just wouldn't be here. Anyways, on the right side, you can actually support us by using our Amazon link. If you click anywhere on that box, you will actually use our link. It doesn't cost you anything extra if you're already doing it. Again, that's for the people that shop on it regularly because of obvious events happening right now. Again, normally that is something that I would not say, but again, go to PayPal or NordVPN if you want to support us in any different way. All right, let's introduce Dex. Dex is my co-host / internet brother. Let's bring you in. Dex, are you there, and how are you doing?
Well, hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So lots of stuff on the website. Again, if people want to follow along on a second device, everything is there. Dex, how is Georgia? How's the weather, by the way, over there? I heard that you guys are having some warmness, or is that wrong?
Well, it was nice this afternoon. We actually had a little bit of cold weather the last bit, and now I think we're supposed to have snow coming up maybe this next weekend. Or a week from now, but that's so far out, we won't know if that really happens.
So we covered, and most of you have probably heard this on some sort of MSM, is that all 50 states are going to have at least a place that is going to go into freezing temperatures, which seems pretty crazy for me. Honestly, I've covered the weather for the last 3 years, all year round, and of course it's gotten hotter during summers. In fact, I was actually surprised not last year, not 2020, but the years before that, 2019 and 2018, we had all of these heat waves so bad. And then even myself, I said that 2021 was supposed to be even hotter. I didn't feel like they at least covered it in 2020. Maybe it's because of everything else that was going on. I don't know, but either way, it seems like this year, if it goes by the normal cycles that we saw, there was 2 years on, 2 years off. I feel like it's going to get super, super hot this summer. Again, it's only a few months away. It's crazy how fast time is going. It's already 2021 in February, almost mid-February, so pretty nuts. All right, we'll go over to the chat. This is a live show. If you want to call in, the number to call is 224-400-MARF. That is, again, 224-400-6273, and you'll press option 4 when you get our phone tree to get Dex. All right, now, Clubhouse blocked in China as censors shut rare space for sensitive political debate. It says that Clubhouse appears to have been blocked in China just days after it became the go-to app for uncensored conversations on a host of sensitive issues banned on the platforms. It says over the weekend, several large Chinese language chat rooms were set up for the invite-only audio app where guests talked about politically charged topics such as the ongoing crackdown against the Uyghurs in Xinjiang, democracy in Hong Kong, and the sovereignty of Taiwan. Now, Taiwan has been a big subject, of course, because Taiwan is basically all this news is coming out about China possibly taking over Taiwan. And there is the obvious question, will this start the third world conflict? Because if they do take it over and other countries such as the U.S., Europe, and others, if they actually step in there, that would be go time. But will we? Another thing that could very well happen is that we just say, okay, take it. Kind of like other things that have happened. Of course, now Hong Kong is fully part of them, even though that was a kind of a different situation. But again, they weren't supposed to be following all of their laws for another, decade or two. So very odd stuff. And then, of course, Taiwan, they have proof, absolute proof, that they are basically setting up for some sort of invasion of Taiwan. Now, would this mean that they're also setting up for the potential other invasions? Of course, if they know that we are going to do something. Doesn't seem to me like that would be the case, but we'll see what happens. And then it says, when they tried to log on to the app, they received a red error message showing a, quote, secure connection to the server could not be made. However, like Twitter or TWTR and many other platforms that are blocked by China's Great Firewall, a sprawling censorship and surveillance apparatus, the app can still be accessed using a VPN. This is exactly why we tell people to use these, because not so much now. I think in the very near future, VPNs will be a huge deal. Megan, who's a streamer over on DLive, again, she was actually streaming in the very beginnings of the event that has lasted a year, that they said would last 2 weeks. She was streaming out of China, in fact, the third largest supposed outbreak over there. And, of course, people were being lined up along walls and things like this, and she was getting a live stream out. The reason why, she was using a VPN to do it. So that's why we actually work with NordVPN. We've seen the writing on the wall for the last 2 years, and I thought that would be a great thing to actually have. Again, if you put your IP address somewhere else and not have those same restrictions, that's a big deal. So that is what people are doing. But apparently, they are even coming down even harder over there. So now they're coming down on any kind of speech that is happening outside of what they want happening. This is not too far from what is kind of going on here. It says helping people in China get around the firewall, and it says Clubhouse did not immediately respond to a request for comment. On Clubhouse, several chat rooms soon sprang up to discuss the blocking of the app. They were joined by hundreds of users, including some who said that they were based in mainland China. Greatfire.org, a group which monitors internet censorship in China, also confirmed that the app had been blocked. So, big thing there, though, is the fact that this was an invite only. This is like one person talking to another. They're not even allowing that. So, just watch. This is something, it seems like about 6 months to a year before it happens here, it happens there. Dex, don't you agree? We've seen stuff that we just, the MSM totally said, oh, this is horrible. I can't believe they're doing this. And then we have something very similar happen here. That it's almost like they took the same playbook.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We see it. And then the other thing is, we don't necessarily see it from the government level. I mean, they do it from the government level there. We just see it with, big tech taking care of the job, so to speak, right? I mean, they just sort of do it themselves, whether it's the, ones controlling which apps are distributed in the App Store or others.
Well, and we're seeing another thing happen here now. This is something we always watch out for, because any of the drills anywhere, any exercise, as we know from past events and as we know from history, very well could be kind of something undercover to actually start an operation. There's been many times where they said it was a drill or an exercise when actually it was an excuse for them to actually gather troops or do something else, and then they do it. We've actually used this in the Middle East a bunch. They said that they were doing a drill, and while they were over there, they had everything, had all of the other governments kind of like, oh, they're just doing a drill. One plane goes and takes something out real quick, because if you don't want to raise alarm. On this note, though, Russia announces joint naval drill with China and Iran in the Indian Ocean soon. This is something I pay attention to, and again, this is something that very well, every year they're going to do a drill like this, right? Over the last few years, they have gotten closer and closer as far as how close they work together as far as militarily. And Navy-wise, they have done a lot of drills in just the last 3 years together. But again, this is going to be a huge one, and it includes all of the supposed, bad guys. And I say supposed by the idea of that axis of evil type thing. And it says Russia will hold joint naval drills with Iran and China in the Indian Ocean later this month. So this is coming soon. It says it has been announced. The naval exercise will see the three countries rehearse search and rescue operations in the northern part of the Indian Ocean in mid-February. Moscow's ambassador to Tehran, Levon Dazargaran, said on Monday. It says it comes less than 2 years after the countries held similar Navy drills in the region on December 2019. It says Mr. D, I'll just call him, told the RIA news agency that the next multilateral naval exercises will take place in the northern part of the Indian Ocean in mid-February 2021. So, also a good way to get all of the ships in one place with very little eyebrows raising. Just saying. So I will be following this, of course, as we always do. And, of course, we'll be looking at any kind of movement over there. And, of course, we have a ton of Navy and military in our audience, which, of course, if you guys hear anything crazy, let us know. That's Adam at marfugelnews.com or Dex at marfugelnews.com. Email either one of us if you have any crazy stuff going on. It says the ambassador added that the drills would ensure the safety of shipping. Speaking of, Dex, I don't know if you have anything to say about this, but the waterways and how we've talked about them controlling the waterways and what they want to do, I think to control all of them, if they ever wanted to control the entire world's waterways, they definitely would have to have help. They wouldn't be able to do it themselves. All right, so Freudian's Lip. Thank you for following Freudian's Lip. That's awesome. Jeff P., thank you for being the last one out with B. Stramnez. Last night. I'm going to go over to the chat before we head over to this. Hundreds of UK academics investigated over weapons links to China. It's every day we're covering this stuff, so just stay tuned. All right, and let's see here. Thank you over on DLive. Z2M, thank you. Said head over to YT Mother Fugels. Tell your G-Mom our Fugel News is tops. That's awesome. Texas Ann, thank you. Thank you for the lemons. Jumpmaster. We have Miss Shaw, Nelly14, IMZ, Renegade Petey, Geisy, Snowboard, Annette LaPow. Thank you so much. Snowboard is here tonight. Bling Grammy. Hello, Adam and Dex. Thank you for this show. Mama of 6, have a migraine, can't stay. Much love. Oh, Mama of 6, maybe I can talk quieter. Or maybe I can whisper. Mama of 6, don't go. Hundreds of UK academics investigated over weapons. Links to China. Almost 200 British academics are being investigated on suspicion. Whispering is really hard. Of unwittingly helping the Chinese government build weapons of mass destruction. The Times can reveal. All right, sorry, that went way too long. Sarah Beth of Freedom, thank you for following. And at Real Desert says, my name is pronounced like Dicert. Oh my gosh. So I've been saying it wrong the whole time at Real Desert. I mean, Dicert. Dice Cart. Dicert. At Real Dicert. Sorry. Renegade Petey, the truth is out there, Toadman, and Robert0108, thank you all for being here with us tonight. Again, thank you everybody over on YouTube as well. We'll be hitting you guys in just a second. But first, it says almost 200 British academics are being investigated on the suspicion of unwittingly helping the Chinese government build weapons of mass destruction. It says they are suspected of violating strict export laws intended to prevent intellectual property in highly sensitive subjects being handed to hostile states. It says the individuals could face a maximum of 10 years in prison if found in breach of the export control order of 2008. It says a source told The Times that the government was preparing to send enforcement notices to up to 200 UK citizens working at more than a dozen British universities. The individuals are suspected of transferring world-leading research in advanced military technology, such as aircraft, missile designs, and cyber weapons to China. So how are they saying that this was unknowingly? It says, or I'm sorry, the exact word is unwittingly. So unwittingly would be like, oh, they didn't know what they were doing. Why? What reason would they have to send these things to China? Doesn't make too much sense. Again, there's no other part that basically, explains why or gives them really an excuse. So I'm going to continue to follow it. But this sounds like a lot of stuff was just being handed to them. And from, what's been going on the last 6 months, that kind of makes sense. Anyways, if you guys want to protect yourself against an EMP, we've been really, really suggesting this as far as we've shown you everything that we have as far as right now. It is an extremely smart and responsible idea to protect yourself against either a natural solar flare, which could turn into a Carrington-like event, which, of course, every 100 years they happen. And if you remember, we have things happen about every 100 years, and one of those just recently happened. Again, and it protects you against all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3. This is the same company that is now contracted with a lot of different three-letter agencies like DOD, DHS, and they're officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. This device, and you can get many different types, one for your house, one for your generator, one for your boat, actually grounds the signal before it can fry your device. These are not cheap devices, so again, if the contest is going, I would highly suggest entering. Go to marfugelnews.com/contest, and you might be able to win and actually pick which one you win. There's multiple ways to enter, including daily bonus entries. Go to marfugelnews.com/contest. If you just want to order one, or one for your car, one for your house, go to marfugelnews.com/EMP, and it helps out the channel at the same time, as well as getting you $50 off per device. All right, and we feel like we've shown you why. I mean, it's not rocket science to show how vulnerable our grid really is right now. And then we're going to be going to the phone calls here in a second. Let me pop over and just make sure we can see this. See here. And Dex, I see that Vinny V, a.k.a. OMG, is on the line. We'll get them in, and then we'll talk about a hacker tried to poison Florida City's water supply.
Another minute, Adam.
Okay, no problem. I'll go to this, and then, of course, I'll hit the main chat as well for everybody. D-Tech Apophis says, despite all my rage, I'm still a rat in a cage, and someone will say what is lost, never be saved. Let's see here. Southern Prepper Lady is here. Joe Adams. Hey, what is going on? It says, see, not sure if you saw my question on AGWN. Did you actually go rollerblading today? Joe Adams, it looks like you ran into somebody from another channel. Are we NARS? Says Lou Parks. I saw that on MSNBC. Denise Parker, that's awesome. Bluegrass Logger, whack, 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 and whack. This is actually a Vice article, so it very well could have been over there. Once they hit one, they hit them all. How does a hacker poison city water at WTF? That is exactly a good point, MG Toe. And again, it shows you everything is connected to the computers nowadays. 11,100 times chemical added to the water supply. Exactly. Jammer 1. Great point there. I love Fugel Fam in Taurus 360. Thank you for being here tonight over on DLive. El Michelle, thank you for being over on YouTube. Vango 54, Able Bodied, Twisted Luck Truth is here. Hey guys, thank you. Thank you and thank you. Nosdick and N95 Hero. What is going on? Matt Thero and Bluegrass Resource. What's going on? And what's up Reese's Resources? It says, on Monday, officials from Pinellas County in Florida announced that an unidentified hacker remotely gained access to a panel that controls the city of Oldsmar's water treatment center and changed a setting that would have drastically increased the amount of sodium hydroxide in the water supply. It says during a press conference, Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri said that a legitimate operator saw the change and quickly reversed it, but signaled that the hacking attempt was a serious threat to the water supply. It says sodium hydroxide, also known as lye, can be deadly if ingested in large amounts. It says the hacker, quote, changed the sodium hydroxide from about 1/100 parts per million to 11,100 parts per million. Gualtieri said, adding that these were, quote, dangerous levels. Again, this would be in your tap water if this was in your city. So this would be in one of the main spots there, and this is exactly why we need to all be very, very cautious. I have been making sure to filter my water. Again, I would highly recommend. Almost all the other channels end up having an affiliate with water filters like Berkey. Go through one of those other channels like ours and go support them and get one of those filters. Again, it's a very smart thing to have. I ended up supporting, I don't know if it was High Impact or somebody else, but I ended up going through and I returned the favor by going and getting something affiliated from somebody else. I'd highly, highly, highly recommend that. Because things like this are going to happen. And just imagine if this happened all across the country and it didn't get caught. Think about that. This could have been worse than September 2001 if it was, successful. As far as this goes, imagine just a whole city just randomly gets sick and they don't know what it is until, afterwards. Or after this water has already passed through. Think about how fast that water can go through and actually be ingested. It says in smaller quantities, I didn't know they put lye in, by the way. I've looked about tap water as being bad with all the other stuff, but lye. It says in smaller quantities, sodium hydroxide can cause severe skin burns and eye damage. Small amounts of sodium hydroxide are put in some cities' drinking water supplies to prevent corrosion to pipes and bring the pH up. It is a strong base. It says the news highlights what could be a serious cyber and physical security breach, raises questions about how secure access to such a sensitive system really was. So, just to point out, SolarWinds that accessed almost everything. Over the past 2 years, we've shown you that we are not only at risk, we've shown you that they got into everything. And not every single system across the country. It's like, and I guarantee you, they went in there, they copied all of the information. They probably have databases just servers and servers of databases of every single system across this country. And ways to get in them, backup ways to get in them, everything. And I guarantee you, after SolarWinds, of course, there was, do you think that all 500 Fortune 500 companies that they hacked into, all 5 military branches and every little subset of them, do you think that they were able to basically patch everything up and also change the ways they do things? Because it's not just access. So say they cut the access out. Well, what about their procedures? What about ways to change things? All of this, if that information was gained by some bad guys, then it doesn't matter if they cut the access out. Now they have back ways in. They have different, strategies. They know the secrets, so then they can go around and do all sorts of things. This is just one example. I don't know if this is related to SolarWinds, but we have sure as heck seen, basically, when SolarWinds happened, they told us that it had been months and months and months prior that it actually was in. So they were in for months doing things. What were they doing this whole time? I don't think they were just sitting on it going, oh my gosh, we've got access to something cool. I think they had teams going in. And I think that this is another country or a country or the country or this country, whatever. Who knows who it is? But I guarantee you this is part of something that's way bigger and everybody's warning against it. Kind of like how they warned about September 2001. How there were multiple people saying, oh, there's something going to happen, something's going to happen. And they saw the writing on the wall because obviously a lot of us know something did happen there. And we might think that them behind some closed doors, they knew exactly what was up. Some even say it was a Fantastic Freddy. So what is here? It seems like they know a whole lot more than what they're telling us. And accessing the water system, how has this not been done before? Well, obviously, maybe somebody wasn't psycho enough to do it. That's horrible. I mean, think about it. The children, any number of people could have drank that water. And luckily, somebody caught it. But they didn't. It's not like they corrected it themselves. They wanted to do this, and it was going to be done. This is one of first. They have access to everything now. I cannot stress, like I said before, you could spend a year covering all of the effects that SolarWinds could have had. And if you don't know what the SolarWinds hack is, make sure to Google that and look all the way into it. Everything from Nashville to everything else that's happened so far. I personally, and this is opinion, and I make sure to clarify opinion, I think they're all connected. What do you think, though? Do you think that this is connected to SolarWinds in any way? Or do you think it's completely separate? Or do you think maybe? And then, Dex, did you get... If you didn't get him, it's fine. Looks like Vinny V might be...
Yeah, we're good.
All right, Vinny V, you can come in now, and thank you so much for being patient. Vault, hello? Thank you. Vinny V, hey, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing, Marv?
I'm fantastic. So, what's going on? You got something to talk about here today. I can't see it yet, but go ahead. What's going on?
Well, I just caught like the tail end of your show a couple of weeks ago. Here, you were talking about some stuff out of the airport in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, so I'd be more than willing to go and report on anything you need out in my direction. And I'm a new content creator, and I was wondering if you had some advice for a new channel. What I do is I do reactionary videos for comedy skits for comedians.
Let me see here. I'm pulling up your channel. Well, first of all, the one thing that I would say is you have to make about 1,000 videos before you get YouTube down. I would suggest going to a lot of the people like Nick Nimmin and there's actually quite a few people out there that help small creators. And I've sent other YouTubers there, such as NPC Show, who's at some like 80,000 viewers, 80,000 subscribers, and we have Magic Prepper. All those guys, I originally suggested that they look at the channels that actually talk about the algorithms and how they work and what's going on with YouTube. You have to follow a lot of stuff. This is a daily thing. We ride a roller coaster. And to make sure that you actually want to do YouTube, I would say for starting out creator, make sure to be careful about everything. There are people that will just decide to hate you for no reason, and they will decide to attack you for no reason. So just make sure that you're very careful. Never give your exact location. That's a smart one. But other than that, just keep making videos and improve every time. Don't ever let yourself get stuck in a rut.
Yeah, this is like I said, it's a brand new thing for me. I got a corporate sponsor behind me out of Hawaii, and we're putting some other videos up right now. Within a couple of days, we'll have 2 or 3 more videos on here. But I plan to do 1 or 2 a day. And comedians are they do some swearing, but I try not to, and I give them a rating when I'm done.
Well, it looks like you picked Bill Burr and Ron White. But, comedians are supposed to be the ones that are stepping up right now to talk about what's going on, and they're not. I'd highly recommend you go check out Kayvon, stand-up comedian. He's talking about all the stuff that happened on January on the 6th. He talks about all sorts of things, and I'm surprised he's actually still on there. But he used to be on MTV's Disaster Dates. He used to be on a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to try to get him on for an interview, but he's very funny. He was previously famous, but he's also talking about everything that nobody else is talking about. And he made a great point that stand-up comedians are supposed to be talking about things that we're not supposed to talk about and making fun of it. But as he said, all comedians, including all the nighttime comedians, are basically going along with whatever whatever they're supposed to say, which isn't really funny.
Yeah. I know it's getting tougher, man. It's getting tougher on what you can say and what you can. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about what things are coming to.
Well, I think we all are. Well, Vinny, I would love to check out your channel, and I'll check out your reactions. And again, everybody is welcome here. All the Fugle creators, they all help out each other. I hope that everybody goes over and Love Mob's OMG Reels, and then check him out. He's again, I think that everybody needs a good laugh nowadays. Vinny, thank you. Is there anything else you want to say before you go?
Yeah. Laughter is the world's best medicine. Shout out to CJ Blaze.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. That was Vinny V, and of course he's got OMG Reels. I hope people actually go over and help him out there. After you get the first 1,000 subscribers, you can actually go live on your phone, which is not possible unless you have 1,000. Not only that, you can apply for monetization and actually try to make it a career. What I did say, though, is very true. You have to make a ton of videos. You can't expect to just, know everything. I spent hours and hours and hours a day, do-it-yourself videos, learning how all the computer stuff worked. And it's changing on a daily basis, so you got to basically keep up with it. There are a lot of creators, and they're all suggested to come on in here. I cannot see the YouTube side of things, Dex, but again, so you might have to put those in. And then if you want to call in, we've got a couple more articles. The number is 224400-MARF. If you have a video, if you saw something crazy, no matter what it is, give us a call. Again, the number is 224400-MARF. This is your chance to call in. We still have a line open. All right, now going back into the news, Tesla buys $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, plans to accept it as payment. This is a pretty big deal. It says Tesla announced Monday it has bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. In a filing with Securities and Exchange Commission, the company said it bought the Bitcoin for, quote, more flexibility to further diversify and maximize returns on our cash. It said that Tesla also said it will start accepting payments in Bitcoin and exchange for its products, subject to applicable laws and initially on a limited basis. It says that would make Tesla the first major automaker to do so. The $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin will give Tesla liquidity in the liquidity in the cryptocurrency once it starts accepting it for payments. Tesla's move into Bitcoin represents an investment for the significant percentage of its cash in the investment. The company had more than $19 billion in cash and cash equivalents on hand at the end of 2020. $19 billion in cash. So, again, cash flow, right? So $1.5 billion in Bitcoin is a lot, and that will affect actually how it does on the market. Now it's up to $46,000. This is why I think that it's not smart personally why I wouldn't just buy Bitcoin, even though, people are like, well, even though it's at 46,000, he just bought $1.5 billion worth. So he probably thinks it's going to go up. What if $1.5 billion, what if it goes back to $40 or something and just crashes, or goes back to 3,000, right? You're thinking he wouldn't do that. He must have some inside knowledge. Now, it very well could go up, and I have a feeling it will. And not just temporarily, but over time. They say it will reach 100,000, all this stuff. But again, I don't think he cares if he loses a 1.5 billion. If you remember, this is the same person that made comments that said that his own stock was overvalued, and it immediately dropped the price of his stock and lost him and his actual net worth $14 billion in a single tweet. So I don't think 1.5 billion of the 180 plus billion that he has, I don't think he cares. He is that crazy, and he would do something like that. But as far as this goes, this is actually, so he can accept it, have change in Bitcoin, all this kind of stuff. I don't think, everybody's talking about going out and buying it. The Dogecoin, I wish I would have jumped on that when I was talking about it a year ago, right? There's all these, I wish I did. I don't really care to get into this stuff. I know I'm probably going to regret it. I'm going to sit there 2 years later saying, man, I knew about that when it was $1. Now it's $4,000. So if you guys are into this, let me know. Put a comment down below if you are into cryptocurrencies. Again, it may very well be the future. It's also going to be digital, and in the future, I think it's going to be tracked. Everything is going to be tracked. They don't want cash. They want you to have every single transaction on the record, which is pretty scary, if you ask me. And then you have Apple positioned to offer cryptocurrencies, RBC report. And again, cryptocurrencies, as far as Bitcoin goes, we still don't know who actually made it. How is this even possible? Like, in the 2000s and beyond, it's like things are happening that just, like, these things don't even make sense. We don't. Now, Dex, I'm going to have you jump in on the cryptocurrencies. I know that you're probably busy on the phone, but when you get a chance, you know a lot about cryptocurrencies, and what I don't understand is we still don't know who exactly created it. It's kind of like, I think it's incredibly weird. We don't know who owns them. We don't know this. I mean, there could be a backdoor. People could invest, trillions of dollars into it, and then somebody could just turn it off. Or is that not possible?
Well, hey, Adam. Yeah, I don't know that I wouldn't say it's not possible. I mean, you wouldn't turn off the actual crypto. I mean, if the power was out, it's not gonna work, around the world, but it does still exist, right? And it still will come back. That's the beautiful thing about this whole notion of what's called a distributed ledger. In other words, this thing lives forever, and it's distributed across multiple systems, across multiple computers, and it's not, you can't, it's irrefutable in the sense that you can't, like,
what if somebody took out or fried all of the current computers beyond repair? Like the world had a Carrington
computer
event.
in the world was fried beyond repair, I think we have bigger problems than worrying about if our cryptocurrency is valid or not. But technically, it still exists because.
Well, what if you're the richest man in the world in cryptocurrencies? You're all of a sudden debt flat broke if that happens, right?
Well, yeah, but I think if that happens across the whole globe and every computer is wiped out, everybody's flat broke.
Well, no, not if you have silver, not if you have physical items.
Oh yeah. I don't mean that. I get what you're saying. If you're diversified, yes, you've got other things like that are worth value. But if my point is, if that actually happens, we're in a scenario or a situation in this world that worrying about your crypto is far less than, say, worrying about where you're going to get your next sandwich.
Yeah. Well, I do you get what I'm saying though? When I first heard I heard my neighbor's spiel when Bitcoin was $35 or $33, and I actually recently had a bonus. I basically had $1,000 extra, and told him, and he said, "Hey, you should invest it in Bitcoin." And then at a bar while I was waiting for food, he was explaining it to me, and I said, that's the stupidest thing ever. I didn't say that to his face. I was like, that's interesting. But in my head, I'm thinking, that's dumb. He goes, nobody really knows who made it, this and that. He's explaining it. He was saying it's the, probably sounded like it's the beautiful thing about the ledger. It's all on every computer. And I thought, this is before anybody knew about cryptocurrencies. It was $33. Bitcoin was at $33. Even if I just bought one, I would have $46,000. If I spent $200, I would have $250,000 right now. I kicked myself in the butt, and I also thought it was dumb, but I still kind of think it's kind of dumb. And I know some of my friends, and I see, I think Dollar Vigilante, I haven't seen him do any videos, but he's on Instagram. It seems like he's doing super good with Bitcoin, and even like, what's his face? The AMTV guy. He's obviously been in Bitcoin for a long time. It's like these guys are doing well, but I still don't, there's something about it that I don't trust. It's like, we don't know whose it is.
It's like a commodity, right? And like if I told you to go back 100 years and buy, stock in a liquor company during Prohibition, you'd probably said you're an idiot. But if you did, you'd be like a millionaire, right, or a billionaire by now. So with all things, I think it has its potential. It has obviously it has a pretty good future in front of it in the sense that there's a lot of people buying into this notion that the world will go digital. I mean, I don't imagine we're going to all of a sudden advance paper money. We'll wake up tomorrow and have all sorts of new advancements in paper money, and we're going to be throwing paper around, like we're at the club or something.
How could we get rid of paper money? We still don't have an RGB 20 bill.
I don't know that, and I'm not saying getting rid of. I just don't see that we're going to be advancing that. It doesn't make sense in a digital world that any country is going to advance its paper money in any significant way. So, I guess that's why I say, when I look at this in theory, it makes sense for the next 100 years, right? Does it mean Bitcoin is going to be the one? No. But does it mean that people will be investing and buying in it? Yeah. Will people lose money? Of course, because it fluctuates up and down and up and down. And just like, 3 years ago, people got in when it was going up to 18,000 and everybody's like, Bitcoin's the future. And guess what? They said 3 years ago, hey, it's going to hit 40,000. They just had the timing wrong, right? It fell down to $3,000 and then it went back to 40,000. It just took time. So, it's a very, very volatile thing to invest in, but it's the technology. And I think a lot of people that are in it, some people are in it to trade it and make money off of trading. And then some people are in it because they want to just invest in the future. Well, and they think that the long-term hold.
No, I get it. And the thing is everywhere is going to start accepting it. So I don't see how it's going to go away. And I see it going better. So the people that, I'm going to be the one that says, oh, I thought it was dumb, just like I did when it originally came out. But think about it. They're going to start taking it. Apple's going to start taking it, Tesla. And I guarantee you, now that Tesla's done it, all of the other car companies are going to start doing it. And each one of them that jumps on, Bitcoin's going to go up. So.
Yeah, and you're going to see falls too. Like,
I know.
This is not necessarily going to happen, but just imagine... Like all these people start taking it. You can buy homes, buy cars, buy expensive MacBooks, with crypto, and all of a sudden they find a loophole where they can't track the money anymore. I guarantee you that the security exchange is going to come out and say, "Hey, we need to stop this or
track it
or stop doing this and put a kibosh on it." And then it'll go just like they did with the ICOs that were going on 3 years ago. They shut it down, which is what basically didn't kill it, but completely crushed the crypto market for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So it won't surprise me to see something like that happen again, but it is the ebb and flow.
No, I see crypto getting to a point where they knock it back down and they make sure it's trackable. Crypto cannot stay untrackable and be all over the planet. Look at what they are planning. They are planning every transaction, every dollar in your pocket to be on the record. There's no way they would let people say, "Oh, it's decentralized." That's the other. That would be a revolution. If we end up doing things to where they're not trackable on a decentralized thing completely, that's a different future than what most people think we're going to have. They have to be able to track everything, and they're not going to like it, especially if people are buying if somebody's buying 10 houses with it and it's not on the books, So it says, with its access to world-class software and secure ecosystem, Apple could tackle the problem individuals face acquiring crypto assets due to know your customer laws and other regulations, with your company offering a closed system that prevents nefarious activity, improves asset security, and has instant access to buyers and sellers, the report said. It added that if Apple, which already has a wallet app, went down this path, the move would likely make the United States a global leader in crypto assets, lessening the possibility of a government shutdown of the industry. But it will also be tracked. And I guarantee you, everybody that uses through Apple, and Apple's the privacy thing, right? That's what we see until we see a huge story that busts out and a whistleblower comes out and says that Apple's been tracking everything. N95 Hero, not if you have an EMP shield. Yes, that's true. D Frustrated, thank you so much. Says, love to you all. Stay strong and things under control. I think anybody who knows their history, 1919 through 1945, is a little worried. That was N95 Hero again. That is exactly what we're talking about. So we're going to talk about over the horizon, what is happening and what is going to happen. And we're actually gonna see that again. This is history repeating itself, and it cannot be much clearer than what's going on right now. N95 Hero, thank you again. Thank you for all the massive support tonight. Seriously, is appreciated, especially when it's been a roller coaster ride off camera for YouTubers everywhere. Thank you for supporting. Bo Vice, thank you for following. And remember, if you want to call in, 224400 or 2244006273. Scooby-Doo Do Right, thank you so much. Mrs. H, Maui Racing Realtor, I got your package yesterday. Maui Racing Realtor, by the way, sent me hand-cut pieces of wood that are in the shape of Hawaii, and it's all of the different islands. And he made a piece of paper with a grid on it, and it says 48 inches equals whatever amount of feet, and a grid, so I could place the islands on my wall in the real setup of Hawaii. Maui, I really thought that was cool, and I was really impressed. They're thin pieces of wood with, he already did the stickers on the back, so they're, two-way. So I don't know if I don't know if you would paint those or leave it how it is. I almost thought it would be cool to paint them, something like that, or have an artist paint them. But it was so cool. You put them out on your wall, and it basically forms Hawaii, and you can actually make it kind of accurate. So I thought that was super cool. Maui, by the way, I wouldn't do that without talking to you. I don't want to ruin the art. You obviously did a really great job hand cutting that. Kalizzi, thank you so much. N95 Hero. One love, Marf, and team, keep up the good fight, sir. Recalcitrant, Earth Observer, thank you. And never a dull moment around here. That's right. Just one last point on this. It says, quote, if the USA owns the most crypto assets, be it Bitcoin or other assets, it would not make logical sense in our view to ban it, RBC analyst said in the report. So, again, that's the craziness of everything going on. If you want to protect yourself and soon possibly get news when you're not allowed to, I would highly recommend looking into virtual private networks. You can put your IP address somewhere else in the world. It basically hides it. Again, it also stops others from data logging you. It also protects your data while you're traveling or in public. So if you're in a coffee shop, for example, using Wi-Fi or anywhere using Wi-Fi, that will actually protect you. Again, you can go to marfugelnews.com/VPN to download Nord. It's one of the highest rated. That's why you see it everywhere. Again, and it will actually give us a credit and you a discount. Not only that, it is one of the highest rated in the world. Make sure to go check out NordVPN. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/VPN. All right, and then remember to use that special savings, Marfugel. All right, we're going to go to our next caller. Let's pop in. We have Hunter, a first-time caller. Oh, cool. Okay. From Massachusetts. Alex G. Retta Zeta Rex Orbis. Thank you. Economists are saying that the market is going to crash in a few weeks. A major bubble is going to burst. Elites versus the people, says Alex G. Retta Zeta Rex Orbis. What's going on? Hey, how are you doing, Hunter? It's your first time.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, guys?
Good. So what's going on? You saw something? Is that right?
Yep. I wanted to call in. I've called in a few times, but I didn't get a chance to get through. I can't make every show, so I got lucky this time. But, yeah, there was a woman who called in. I forgot what her name was, but she was from Louisiana. And she saw almost it sounded like the exact same thing I saw back in 2011. Except she saw it down in Louisiana, and I saw it right on the border between Connecticut and Massachusetts. And it was, in the short version of the story, is it was a big, giant black triangle with lights at each corner. And I don't remember if there was a light in the middle. I don't think there was. But it was probably around, it was February 2011. It was a very cold night. And I lived across the street from a supermarket. And it's a very, podunk town. There's no activity in this town past 9 o'clock. I remember one time I was out on my porch and there was a deer running down the middle of the street. It was just no activity at all in this town at night. And so I had gone outside to smoke. It was maybe about 2 in the morning, middle of winter, like it is now. And I had gone out into this parking lot, and if it had been summer and there had been crickets, I wouldn't have noticed the noise that it was emitting, but it was emitting a very I don't know, kind of like when you roll down the windows of the back windows of your car and you get that pressure in your ears.
The womp womp.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, but it was very subtle. Like if there had been crickets outside, yeah, it would have I wouldn't have even noticed it. But it was such a clear, cold night. There was no noise at all. I'm hearing this noise and I'm feeling this pressure too. And I'm looking around, and I'm in the parking lot of the supermarket that was across the street from my house. And I'm hearing this pressure, and I'm looking at it. It's coming from all directions. And I'm looking around. I'm like, where the heck is this emanating from? And I look up, and the supermarket lights in the parking lot were on, so it kind of made it harder to see it at first. But I noticed it was a very clear night, and I noticed that there was something very big blocking out most of the stars, and I could see the board. My eyes began to adjust, and I began to see the borders of this thing. And it was a big black triangle with a light at each corner. And I remember it being like the size of the parking lot, or feeling like it overtook the parking lot. It felt like it was not that high above the supermarket itself, maybe twice the height of this place. Could have been higher, but it was huge. And it was moving very slow. And it was making this kind of frequency, but it was pretty much silent. And it moved over me, and it moved over the supermarket. And I had to run to the other end of the parking lot to get another view of it as I watched it approach a mountain in the distance. And it went up over the mountain, and then it just kind of silently went down the back of the mountain, and that was that. And it was the oddest thing, man. And it was funny because I remember going inside and kind of being in disbelief about what I just saw and how it was right in the middle of town, and I was all alone. And I went back into my apartment. I sat down, and I remember my brain wanted to almost start to forget about it after seeing it. because like it didn't fit in with everything else I had seen, but I like forced myself to like replay the events in my brain like a movie so that I wouldn't forget about it, you know? But yeah, I've seen some other things recently, just weird little lights coming out of lights up here in Mass.
So let me ask you a question. So
yeah,
do you not normally tell people about this, or do you not tell people about this because you don't think they'll believe you?
No, I do I'll tell anybody who listens about that. I've told my whole family. I'll tell anybody who listens.
Did you go in the grocery store and say, hey, did any of you guys see that? Or
no, I didn't say to anybody at that grocery store because the grocery store was closed at that time. It was 2 a.m. I think that place closed at like 10. No, absolutely no traffic was in town. Nobody was around. There's a little 24-hour gas station, but I didn't see anybody at the pumps. Nobody was outside.
Yeah, it's always kind of crappy when you see something like that and you have nobody around you to kind of back you up. And even if you did, 2 people could say that and the world won't believe it without video. But it's like, I've been by myself out when we lived in Black Diamond, we had all of our battery powered lights that line the path out to the backyard, and they're those kind of stabbing in lights, and on top of the RV, which the neighbor had parked in their back, kind of on the side of their house, they basically had it. They had power plugged into it, and I believe when family came over, they would stay in this little RV. They had it on their property.
Right.
On top of the lights, just all of a sudden getting bright in that RV, like it was buzzing with electricity. All of the battery powered lights just went woo, and including 3 that hadn't worked for months. We had like probably 25 lights going out to the back patio where we had a fireplace out in the backyard, and there were 3 that hadn't worked because they're cheap. They're like $7-8, and they're battery powered, and once they die, you just get a new one. Well, all of them buzzed and lit up, and you could hear a weird buzzing sound, and right over the other side of the tree, there were 4 lights, and they were just stopped and hovering there, and then they backed out. So I've seen things, and that one I actually had at the time. My roommate, who's I'm still friends, Jen, was outside, and she goes, I'm never going outside at night again. And she basically did. We were freaked out. We only lived there another 2.5 months. We never went outside at night. Like, it was really freaky. Wow. And that's out in the boons.
Hey, you know what? Is it okay if I plug one other guy's channel that I'm sure a lot of your listeners probably already listened to?
Go ahead. Who is it?
It's that guy, David Paulides. You ever looked into his stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we've sent him a love mob before.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll pull up his channel, and then we'll link it on the website. And then Dex, that's David.
Yeah, a lot of stories like that, and it's probably smart that you guys didn't go out back again. I don't know.
Well, no, we were
a lot of stories like that.
We were in the country, and like that's the kind of place where people lose 5 hours of their time and don't know where they went. Well, thank you so much, Hunter, for calling in tonight, and make sure if it's your first time call, don't make it your last. Okay. All right, and then we have, I'll pull up David Paulides here if we can. Hold on. And then we'll link that. When anyone suggests a channel, we always try to link that. Let's see here. I forgot if it was David or David. And of course, I know I spelled that wrong. Why did it do that? Something is wrong with my keyboard. All right. We'll link it. Dex, I'm sure you've probably found it by now. And then here we go. I knew I did spell it right. Here we go. If you look up this David it's like Paul and Ides together. All right, and then we've actually given him a love mob before. We've sent a bunch of people over because of a previous caller that actually mentioned him. And then we're going to be talking about UK CV variant spreading rapidly through the United States, studies find. It says a CV variant that shut down much of the United Kingdom is spreading rapidly across the U.S., competing other mutant strains and doubling its prevalence among confirmed infections every week and a half, it says, according to new research made public. But just so you know, they're actually lifting lockdowns instead of kind of doubling down on them. So, it makes sense if this is going to spread that we actually reduce the amount of lockdowns. And we should start high school football games too. And indoor dining. Yeah. But possibly that's going to be the reason in a few months from now it goes all back to a standstill and get rid of the rest of the small businesses that, survived. Next. This is really sad, stupid, all in the same thing. 20-year-old kid, and by the way, first thing I thought, and I don't know if you guys ever prank called anybody when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, 10, 11, 12. I know back when I was prank calling, we actually had the white or yellow pages, and, me and my buddies, we would pick a random name in the white pages, and we'd prank call them and go, "Is your refrigerator running? Fart." I don't know if you guys ever did that. Some of you may be older than that, where it was even more primitive than that. But a lot of people did prank calls when they were teenagers, right? The point I'm making is you do kind of stupid stuff when you're a kid. On top of this, though, I remember using the names like Timothy Wilkes or Wilkinson or something like where you make up a fake name when you're prank calling. This kid's name is Timothy Wilkes. I didn't know Wilkes was actually like a real name. Like, I swear I used it in all of my previous prank calls. It says, an incident on Friday which led to the fatal shooting of a 20-year-old YouTuber is under investigation. In Nashville, a permit is needed to carry, and I don't know why they put that part right after as far as the structure of it. In Nashville, a permit is needed to carry a loaded handgun. Anyone above the age of 18 can, however, openly carry, so as long as the weapon is not loaded. Anyone above the age of 18 can open, so it's an open carry state. That's weird. And it says a 20-year-old man who tried to prank an unsuspecting man by charging at him with a butcher knife was shot. So the kid was doing one of those pranks where he scares him and apparently I saw what I thought was the video for this, and they said that it was released. I don't know if it was true or if they used a different video, but it looked like the kid was in the middle of like 2-3 guys and then a couple guys over here at the car, and he had this butcher thing, right? And he's like, "Hey, I'm robbing you," and then turned towards the other guy, and then one of the people he's supposedly robbing pulled out and did this thing, pop, 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 and basically ran away. The kid died, and this was some sort of dumb prank. I don't know why there are so many dumb people on YouTube. Last year, I covered the kid that had his wife, his fiance, who was on her second child, pregnant with their second child, basically shoot him with a .50 caliber Desert Eagle. And he was holding the thing, holding a book, and he thought the book was going to stop it. Mind you, in previous kind of things where they took shots at it, the book stopped the bullet. But the time that she did it, it went straight through. It was a thick book. It was like this thick, and it was some old book. And he was so confident he had her do it and even begged her to do it. And then boom, he's gone. dumb, right? This is the same thing we scream, but people are so wanting to be famous or to get viral that they are looking at this like it's their ticket to gold, right? Doing stupid stuff like this, especially over the last 10 years. There's people on the platforms we're on right now, even on DLive, that are famous for doing dumb stuff, like, stealing donuts right out of a donut case, like jumping over the thing while people are working there. Here's the thing. You don't do stupid stuff like this because people are armed and it's the United States and somebody will take you out and they're not going to get charged, which apparently is what's going on in this case. No one's been charged yet and they probably won't because this kid took a butcher knife and was robbing them. And to them, it was a real event. Dex, I don't know what you thought about this because we didn't talk about it before the show, but I mean, is that sad though? That's you have a grown son about his age. Wouldn't that make you so sad that your kid was just made such a dumb decision and now is not around anymore?
Oh yeah, for everybody involved, both the person who lost their life and the person who had to take the life. That's it's just definitely a tragedy. It doesn't, and it's senseless, and we can blame the person who did it or who did the prank. But I think the one thing we should do is try to learn from it. I know a lot of, up and coming, creators want to be funny or want to do those things. But a lot of times you have to look at some of the things that are done, especially in the prank world, and understand that they're not as organic as you might think they are. In other words, a lot of them are scripted or at least in a controlled environment where, especially when you're doing something extreme, like that.
And that's
you can't just go pull that out and think that you're gonna not have a consequence.
And that's why, Dex, most of those MTV shows where they do something like that, it is in a controlled environment. They're Mark, they usually know the Mark's friend, and the friend knows that person's unarmed and it's not there've still been cases where it's MTV and they've got everything kind of locked down and they do a fake like robbery or something like that. But in the case, they've actually had it where the victim of the fake prank thing punches the guy who's fake robbing them or takes him down. That's happened before, not only on MTV, but other prank shows that they've done it. People have gotten hurt being the kind of, attacker in that case. So it's really dumb. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. And like everybody said, pray for that boy, pray for that boy's family. Pray for the attacker. He just took somebody's life and then finding out afterwards, think about what he's going through. Nobody wants to take a life. I'm not anybody that I would ever be around, but again, it's sad all around. Able-bodied in chat in YouTube says, one idiot actually showed 2 perished people on his live stream. So he took the life of 2 people and had it in his live stream. Yeah, he was arrested, she says. Yeah, like stuff like that is absolutely crazy. One thing to say, though, I met somebody who this was years ago, and it was a client, and it was the client's husband that talked about what he did for a living, and he worked at Facebook. This is before I ever did, YouTube. And he said he was part of the safety and whatever compliance team, and he had workers underneath him, and they would basically any flagged video would go to him, and then he would have to look through all this horrible things. He said that there's a huge amount of people that try to take their own on camera. There's a huge amount of people that end up, doing, kidnapping, all sorts of stuff, because this is a worldwide platform. Back then, he said, it almost back then before I knew what happened, I do understand that these platforms have a lot of crazy stuff happen and that they have to filter through some of that and make sure that it doesn't go, out. But at the same time, it's like, that's how things should be. That should be, people should be able to see it and then judge it, not, have it disappear, because that's that's making history disappear. That's making news disappear before it even happens. Personally, I think that, I think it's a parent's job. The big worry is that kids will see it or this will see it, right? If kids shouldn't be on the internet if you're worried about them seeing that stuff, because basically the internet has access to all that, and it's always been that way. We either need to do a better job parenting or a better job of letting things through. Homesteading in the Heartland says, ironic that UK is 30% more lethal, and previous CVVC animal studies showed 30% fatality rate following jab during antibody enhancement. Homeland, I totally agree with you. I almost want to post that on the website. Hunter Barian says, thanks for taking my call. Good night. That was sweet. No problem. Hunter, that's awesome. Thank you. And then, again, don't be a stranger. Call again. Marfool's Gold makes the arsenic in the well water seem safe enough. Yeah. Lisa Renee, I'm so sick of this crazy evil world. So, Lisa, we don't actually, and you know what? You've been around here a long time. We don't cover a lot of this stuff. I could show you on some of the things, the alerts that I get, and it's like, I can't believe there's so much nasty, negative stuff. Almost everything that you see nowadays is like, man takes his whole family, blah, 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 like, that kind of situation. Guy, able-bodied, that comment a second ago, I saw that, and I'm like, he live streamed, taking 2 people out. Like, what is this world coming to? There's just so much insane evil. It's disgusting. H. Shalom, it's nice to see you. By the way, lots of really old Fugals in the room, as far as you guys have been around for 3 years. Like Borna Hawkeye, what is going on? Says, but hey, I'm happy for being alive. Somebody basically saying, what's up? Eggman, Believer 7777, Awake and Aware. Hey, it's nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming and supporting us and sharing and everything else. Thank you. Lou Parks, Lukel. We've got Salt and Sargent. Is that right? Salt and Largent? White Knight, Sofa King Sad. Yabba Dabba is in the house. Joe Adams, Tina, James Shaw, Michael Jerome, thank you. Jackie Koo, Michael C, Einstein's mom, A. Hagley. That is awesome. London, thank you for saying that. If you guys would please consider pressing that like button. I saw it was over 700 about 20 minutes ago, so thank you. I am very honored to get that many. If you guys can get it to 5,000 replay watchers, thank you so much for doing so. And then Defrustrated, thank you. Vault 111, thank you for the massive support tonight. Again, Gone Girl 777, I missed you the other night. I hope you know that no matter if you're here or not, we always shout you out. Thank you for just being at almost every show. Susan Donahue has been on almost every show. There's a few people that do not miss, and that is really big considering our schedule is so messed up all the time. N95 Hero, 1,000 N95s, and you can't breathe, so won't have to worry about CV or the V. I'm Dr. F, and I stuck this message. I see what you did there. See, before you said I'm Joe B, and I forgot this message. That was good. Jem, thank you, Ken M, Misha. All right, let's get over to the phones again. We've got another caller right behind. It looks like tonight we have, I believe this is a first time, Heather, first time caller, has some pictures or a video, so I'll pull that up. Heather, you're live.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, Heather, what are we showing here? I've got a couple pictures here.
We were, my old man, he works for the railroad, and we were traveling from Indiana to Missouri. And when we were traveling, there was something, I looked up and there was, I don't know, I still, honestly, so I don't know what it was, but whatever this was huge. Huge. I thought I was taking videos of it the whole time, but it was like live pictures. But anyways, it had what looked like a almost a red ring around it, and it was not the sun. It was not. I still don't know what it was, but it had like a pink glow all the way around it, but it was spinning, and you can see in the video it's spinning. like I said, and it was literally gone. By the time I seen it, got my phone out, it was within 5 minutes. It was gone.
Okay, at first I was looking at an image. Okay, we have an actual movie of this. So hold on. The first thing
yeah, it's not very long. But... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Okay, hold on. I'm super confused, though. Hold on. Okay, there's 2 videos here, is there not?
Yeah, one was like 4 seconds, and the other one's just a couple seconds. You can play the 4-second one, but you can clearly see whatever it is. It's got, like I said, I still don't know what it was in the sky. I mean, I have no clue, but whatever it was massive. It was huge.
Whoa.
And it was spinning.
Okay, at first I was thinking it's... And that's not the sun.
No, it's not the sun. Like I said, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And when I looked at that and I was like, babe, I said, look, does that not look like a planet in the sky? And he was like, yeah, it does. I was like, I got to get a video of this. And by the time I seen it, got my phone out, and I took other pictures of it. Like I said, I have it on live where it's really spinning really good on live photos. But when I actually got like a short clip, I mean, it was gone. It literally within 5 minutes of me seeing it and getting it, it was gone. So I had no clue what it was, but I thought I'd call and share it with y'all.
Oh, that is so weird. And then the color of it, I mean, even if somebody said, "Oh, why would a sun look like that without having the whole sky? I mean, why would it be so contained?" That is so weird.
Exactly. I have no clue, sweetie. I mean, like I said, I was baffled by what I saw. I really was, because I take pictures of the sky a lot, and I mean a lot. And I've never in my life seen anything like that, especially with the pink glow around it. I mean, it was just, everything was bizarre. It looks like, to me, see the ring around it, like the red ring around it? But it almost looks like, in some photos, like half of it's almost missing. But in the video, you can see where it looks like it's spinning.
That is so weird.
But whatever it was only there for about 5 minutes, and it was gone.
Trying to catch a good... I've seen crazy sunsets where the sun looks like that, but I've never seen a sunset like that was just... You don't just see the sun.
But this was at 4:38. Hey, this was at 4:38. I took these photos. The time was 4:38. So I don't know. Like I said to you, I don't know. I still don't know what it is. So I have no clue. But I've never seen the sun ever look like that. And with the, I don't know, the whole, like the sky, because the picture exactly what it was in the sky, like the colors of it. But I don't know, like the pink glow behind it, it was more prominent in this, like when I was looking at it in the sky. I mean, it was very, very bizarre, very bizarre. But it was only there 5 minutes, and it's gone. Yeah,
that is weird. Amy Rios on YouTube says Nibby is red. Let's see. Payne Pritchard says that's crazy. B Crouch says ice cream sounds good. Someone's paying attention. Well, this is a crazy video. What we're going to do is we're going to share this so everybody can go look at the file themselves. They don't have to judge by looking at it on our show. They can actually go look at it themselves and be the judge. At first, I thought the first video, I didn't see. I thought that was on your window or a reflection, but it actually goes behind the trees. Like, that's really crazy looking.
Yeah, like I said, my live pictures, like when you hold it down, I mean, you can see it really, really well. But those are the only videos. They're short clips, but the only ones that I could get before it disappeared. But
yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Heather, for calling in, and I appreciate you. It's your first time call. It don't make it your last. And if you see something else like this, please let us know and send it to us. Okay.
Okay, sweetie. Awesome. You have a good night, Adam.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good night, Heather. This is the shot, and I mean, I have to admit that doesn't. I mean, in my mind wants to say, oh, it's that sun going over the horizon, but that doesn't look. That just looks super weird. The sky would be a different shade. There's nothing around it. It's just the only thing I could think of, and again, this is at 4:38, according to her, is if it was severely smoky, but still don't see it. Why would it do that? What else could that be? I mean, it looks like a mushroom cloud almost from far away. What if that was, a mushroom cloud in another city or something, right? Pinich Runner, thank you guys. Over on YouTube, thank you so much for all of your support, guys. 2.6 thousand people over there. If you can, make sure to press that like button, get it to 1,000 likes. That would be a blessing and a half if you can get it there. Let's see here. And then, let's see. Right behind, we have Richard. Let's get Richard on. Again, Hunter Berrien, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for taking my call. Good night and sweet dreams, y'all. Richard, first-time caller, is a truck driver. All right. Looks like we have Richard. Richard, if you want to call in, get in, you can now. Gone Girl, thank you so much. MJ, 1979, Kishara. Planets seen in Dubai, see third phase. I will check them out. I haven't seen third phase in a little bit. It's weird how the algorithm won't suggest things, and then all of a sudden it will. It's funny how nobody, if the algorithm doesn't suggest, it's really hard to remember all the people that you follow. All right.
Hello?
Hi, Richard, truck driver. What's going on?
Hey, Marv, how you doing?
Good. So it says you're in Virginia. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia right now. Yeah, I truck drive all over the United States.
Nice. But, long haul?
I never told this story. I'm kind of a little nervous, but I was telling Dex about 6 years ago. I'm originally from New Mexico, and I was working with this guy cutting firewood. I would go get the firewood, and he had these guys from Mexico, doing the work up in the mountains. Well, the federal government got wind of this because they thought something else was going on when there wasn't. These guys were good guys, just working for their family. But long story short, he got thrown in prison because he needed a farm bill B for these guys to work for him. And they thought I was doing something because I was a truck driver. But they had pictures of me picking up the firewood way out in the mountains. And long story short, after all that had happened, I started seeing weird stuff in the sky. And I started seeing a lot of these orange orbs everywhere that I would go. And when I would go down to the border, I would take some of the steel that, the wall that they were putting up out there. And in the daytime, I would see these black orbs, which got me to thinking these were the orange orbs that I was seeing at night. And it got me to thinking that was the government, that they were watching me, even though I wasn't doing anything wrong. They would follow me everywhere, and I would see them come out of the clouds and then go back into the clouds. And it gave me the feeling like they would come out and show themselves to let me know that they were still watching me. And I even had military helicopters come right at me down the freeway, and still to this day, I I have other truck drivers taking pictures of me, and I feel like I'm being targeted out here on the road. But I mean, it's okay. I can deal with it. But one night, I was out in Payson, Arizona. I had this 10-year contract picking up molding for the Home Depots. And one night I was out there in the mountains, and I was laying on the top of the load with I had some Nikon binoculars. I still got them. And I was just laying there like at 2 a.m. watching the sky, watching the stars. It was a calm night. And I kept on seeing this one star go across the sky. I mean, from one end to the other in like a matter of seconds. And after a while, I thought like maybe 10 times. I got back in my truck. I'm laying down, and through my side view mirror, I could see the moon. And as I'm laying down, I start to see it jump around, and I already knew that's the moon I'm seeing, but it looked like somebody was in the back of my trailer with a flashlight. And I'm the only one out here in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, and no cars are passing.
Creepy.
And so I open my little side view, my side vent has this metal grid on there like a screen, and I can see the moon, and I'm just staring at it real still, and I see it jump up and down. And I thought my mind was playing tricks with me. So I got out of the truck, got my camera, or my phone. It wasn't that good of a phone, but I put it in my tennis shoe, like facing up on the trailer. And it was a calm night. Nothing was moving. The truck was off. And I got video of it moving in the video, like jumping up and down the moon. And if you stared at it, it looked like it was hanging on a string, just swinging back and forth. So I took pictures of it. And everybody I showed the video to, they said, "Oh, well, you were moving it. You're holding it." And I explained to them, I wasn't even touching the phone. It was on the trailer, and I had a full load of molding. I was weighing 80,000 pounds, and there's no way I could have moved it, as it was steel. So I started taking pictures of it, and the crazy thing that just after I was heading back towards New Mexico, I'm looking at all the pictures, and I see this face, like this demon. I don't know what it was, like looking back at me real faint in the picture. So I told my wife when I got home, I showed her. I was like, "Do you see it? You can see the eyes, you can see the nose, the hair, the mouth." The mouth looked like it was like sewed together, and it had a big old grin.
Richard, why don't you didn't I don't see any attachment. You should send us these kind of things, and for anybody else too.
This was a long time ago.
Same thing. Yeah, I know, but
this has been a while.
But if you still have those pictures, send them to us on an unidentified night, and we'll look at them. Sounds fascinating.
No, I don't have the video no more.
That's all right.
I wish I did.
Well, Richard,
nobody believed me, and I just got rid of it.
Well, Richard, I believe you, and just so you know, we started a trucker line on our 1-800 number, our 224400 MARF. The reason why we started that number is because all of the crazy stuff that truckers were seeing around the country. The thing is that drivers like yourself are driving all around the country, and you're constantly moving. So you are seeing more of the country than any of us. In fact, my friend Jack used to be a long-haul trucker. Yeah. He went to 48 of the landlocked states. He went everywhere. And he has more stories from the 2 years driving long-haul than he did from 20 years doing other jobs. So I understand that you guys see a lot of stuff, and you travel to a lot of areas, including areas that don't have city lights. And those are those are the most prone places where you see these weird things in the sky. So I believe you. I've seen the stuff myself, and nobody believes you. And you feel like you can't tell anybody because people laugh at you. But look at how many people have seen things in the skies There's no way. Statistically, it's possible for them there not to be something up there. It's just too much.
Yeah, yes. And I believe a lot of it is our own government.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Just because of what I've seen in the daytime. And the military helicopters come around. And the one that came down on the freeway was on I-40, and it was flashing like a red, bright light at me.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
creepy.
what it was for.
Well, Richard.
Yeah, there's.
You're still driving, right? You're still doing long haul? You're still doing long haul?
Oh, yeah. No, I've already went to a different company. Now I'm all over now.
Well, Richard, keep your phone nearby, and now phones, even if you have the crappiest phone of today, you have the best camera of yesterday.
I got the Note 20.
Oh yeah, so you got an amazing camera now. If you double tap that side button, it goes right into the camera super quick. Catch some stuff and then send it to us, okay, Richard?
Oh, I sure will.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, Mark,
thank you for calling in.
You do. Appreciate it, bro.
Oh, you're very welcome, and thank you for listening. And if you get a chance when you're driving, when you're at a safe spot, next time you're watching a replay while you're driving, make sure to press the thumbs up, as I know you probably do, and make sure to share it with other drivers if you're at the stops. All right? Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Talk
to you later.
Have a good night, Richard. Like Richard, Richard probably sees a whole lot of stuff that we don't. Especially, I know there's plenty of you that think, gosh, I'm just in this one city. I don't travel. I don't travel as much as I want. And I know there's a lot of you, too, that say, oh, I need a vacation. But really, the point is that, humans back when, thousands of years, we were nomads. We kept moving. So it's not, I don't even think it seems normal to just stay in one place your entire life. So again, these truck drivers see a whole lot more than we do. I think it actually gives them more life experience than anyone else. And other jobs too. Any job where you're traveling constantly, you're seeing a whole lot more stuff because you are getting out there. You're walking. You're going to see more if you go outside and take walks. If you don't go outside and take walks, you're not going to see it. If you take even a daily walk around your neighborhood block, you're going to see stuff. You're going to see ambulances at people's houses. You're going to walk outside people's houses and hear them arguing or, whatever it may be. You're going to see stuff. If you stay in your house, you're not going to see nothing. Now, even further on, if you take a drive around the country, you're going to see a whole lot more. So I do encourage, that line is still there, I believe, and you guys can call in, and if you've seen something crazy, send it to us. You can go to marfugelnews.com/playmyvideo and actually submit any video. So whether it be orange orbs or a drone following you, you can submit that. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/playmyvideo. It's even easier to get to because if you go to our website, if you just scroll up to the very top, it's the last tab. It says Play My Video. And when you click that, you can submit any link. All you have to do is upload it to YouTube. If you have, if you're in chat right now on YouTube, that means you have a YouTube channel. You just have to push the little plus mark or go to add video. You're already a YouTuber if you're in chat. So make sure to do that, and then we can use it, and then you just grant us permission, and we'll show it on the show. Tin Mole, thank you so much. Durango X Numeru, Stoplight, thank you so much. There's quite a few awesome people there. Thank you, Vault 111. Thank you for massive support tonight. You don't have to do that. Again, either way, we're going to shout you out. Host you when I can, because I love your music. Let's see if we can pop this open. All right, and then let me see here. All right, let me see what I can do here. Dex, can you give us a update on some of the stuff that's over on web only and let people know how they can get this?
Yeah, certainly, Adam. So as always, we've been creating and curating more content on our website in addition to what we talk about on the show. So just head over to marfugelnews.com, click on the thumbnail like Adam showed in the beginning of the show. Each show has a thumbnail, and each one of those days, if you scroll down below the thumbnail, you'll see all the articles we talked about today, but also the additional content, the additional articles that we have on there that we've curated from around the web. That's really important things that we think everybody should know or may want to know, and we just can't cover on the show, or we don't have time to cover it. So take a look. Definitely go to morefugalnews.com. Click on each one of the days, each show. The current thumbnail will get you the current list of content that's on there. Some really interesting things that have been happening over the past few days. And I think we'll actually see a lot more this week. This week's going to be potentially a very interesting week when it comes to some of this, some of the news we just can't talk about on air here.
And we have, again, I think that February, March, and into April, we are going to see some of the things that we talked about here come true, especially since we know we already have some of the deadline, and we don't do dates. So I'll just give you that kind of 2-month period. Over the horizon, here's what we're looking at. We are actually looking at the quickening of the pace of us, getting into this conflict, and you have a force inside of our country, in my opinion, inside the United States, that is already on the other side. So everyone needs to have their head on a swivel, just like what happened with that water supply. That could happen everywhere. Be careful on every level. Don't be paranoid. Be careful. Be responsible. Don't be crazy. And then N95 Hero, thank you. Thank you for your massive support in number 1 so far. Vault 111, Gone Girl, thank you. You know you are already permanently permanently a VIP. You don't have to do anything around here. And thank you for doing so anyways. Z2M, Deja Voodoo 222. Thank you so much for being on there. Mountain Lace, thank you for being number 5. Defrustrated, Jammer, you know you don't have to. You already mod. Thank you so much. J Price 130 and Snowboard, all of you, thank you for your massive support tonight. Again, we've had so many rough things happen to us off camera, so it really does make a difference. Thank you guys for supporting us. Recalcitrant, thank you for that. Again, thank you for the lemons. Down to the single lemons, whatever matters. It seriously is a big thing. 1 Adam 12, thank you for the lemons. Louisiana Skywatch, thank you for the lemons. Every little bit helps, so thank you. And then over on YouTube, thank you guys for everything that you guys have done as far as commenting, sharing. That is our main thing over there. Please bring new people to the group. The License Guru, what is going on? Cypher 9, Karen Kyle, Car 7, Reaper, Able Body, thank you for being here. Closing in on 3 years. This is my screen name. Hey, how are you guys doing? How are you and the wife? Make sure to say hi to BOD. And then Charlie Abercrombie, where are all of our couples? I know Keith and Queen Brat, they're recovering on some stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen Keith and Queen Brat tonight. And then WV Prepared Mind, thank you so much. Eggman, WV, thank you, and thank all of the mods. Jason78, Bones, Rip Curl were very active tonight again too. Born a Hawkeye, thanks for being around this long. You're correct. 15 flyovers to Taiwan. White Knight, thank you. Henry Dacus, Real Bible, Real Life. That's awesome. Wait, who is that? Hold on. 4 Zombies 8, thank you so much for your support there. You can always write something. Jakku Q and Ronan Returns and In the Midst of the Garden. Thank you guys. I wanted to say thank you to all. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I am sure as heck going to try. Dex, thank you for being my internet brother for life.
Great job, brother. Good show.
It is now officially time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shish kebab. Gotcha. Chicago. Shoutro. just wanna drive. I just wanna go live. N95, 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 we ride. I just wanna go back drive, and whoa, we roll, and everyone goes home. I was about to go for the inslip, B-Strong and Jeff P in every sip of that drink they do with the Lori D and the big flu that is taking over the world. I was a funkified, going back and now we ride. Now we die. Be strong. N95. Hero. I love the way they go round and round. Hey, got the chewy weather, Jammer one and everybody better. Hey, Trudy W, doing what we were born to do. Heather Daniel and DFW, Jackie and everybody happy. Ask me, raps your girl now. Going right back, don't have a cow. Hey, don't have a cow. Don't have a cow. It's a 40. Slip like the Maui Racing Realtor. Going right back now, they killing her. Right on that stream on the live. Going on the rip on the back drive. Miss Jammer. No Bama. Miss Jammer. Philly Poop Poker Loco, watching us in skies. Lord of Griffith and the rest of these guys. R-Jax and the Crazy Coyote. Recalcitrant, everybody high-oty poyote. Wanna style-oty. Anita Torres and the I Love Beagles. Laura Griffith and Graham Maravan going back doing everything that we can. They go with the Jim. Hey, see you later. It's Jay with a crop duster. I love Jesus forever. I'm jamming up this with the R-Jax. Everybody going right back in the right back. Texas. And that man, Randy Ray. Thanks, gone girl. Got the Randy Ray. Everybody say, Ed J. Willie and now half a man, half of my big. Got the beach on Jeffrey, everybody OC, now AOC. On a D. Calcitrant. Everybody really wanna go funky. Going right back, deja voodoo monkey. Hey, recalcitrant. Track Pepper 53 and the Lamb, man. Track Pepper and the recalcitrant. Doing everything that they can. Freudian live.
can't get to the bar.
Done deal, and a done deal. And a done deal. And a done deal. And a done deal. Oh, deja voodoo. Cabbage patch eeny. Bring it back up, Mr. Bradapini. Deja voodoo. Ball 111, 78 Bombers, Clan Whitetail, RJ, L. Harris, and everybody. Karen, so scary. Now we racing real dirt. Johnson, the S, and the Dave, on the track, on the vet, on the mitt, and everybody say with the Ridley. Oh no, RJ's right. Gonna go back with like this A in the oop now. Gotta bring that banana. Miss Jana, I'm a fan. I'm Lord. Gonna go on with voice. It's day 562. Doesn't really matter any do to do. I love it the way that they do. Going right back and they know they do. I'm gonna bring it back now. I need a tourist in the back of the car. We are about to pop the chest, y'all. Jam, Grego too. Oh la la. Hey, gotta bring it on the bite now. Dabba on the yabba dabba do. Hey Jester 330 and you Randy Lou, I'll bring it boo. Gonna bring it back like a GB Jew. Hey nah, with a DJ King. Going right back and the go that thing. Oh she too. Go back and Team Angel do. Yabba and dabba do. Hey nah, and a Henry Day Dakis and a Laney Bakers. A cake and out of Pambeth. Gonna bring it like Teresa Annis and maybe Teresa Pardo. Arillo going kilo. Gonna bring that Johnny Fry Guy and O'Brien out back in the stoplight. Gonna go back in that late slap. Alfred, Phillips, barefoot, west of the west and the go back past. Thank you, Gone Girl, for moving into spot number 2. It doesn't make anybody any lower, but it certainly makes you a little bit higher. Deja, da 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 da, 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 deja, da 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 da. Bring it right back with the Michael now. Gonna bring it back in the Mr. Paul. Gonna go put his bigger nah. James on and a bigger shot. Oh nah. Hey. With the Gunny MKAAL Michael cursing, going back, no cursing, no saying F words, no saying B words. Doesn't really matter. We're just going to he's her. Deja, da 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 da, deja, da 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 da. Jacob and the Mr. Mininator going right. I will see you later. later, Minya and a big now Karen Bush now with a big old sit now. Gonna go back now and suke, bring it right back now to cook me with a Kit Kat now. I book me in another haunted helder, and I bring back now the Jetta. I come in a big now Lona with a white knight and that Lupac, and I bring it right back now. Hey. With a team angel in the ghetto, everybody forget oh no, right back in the forget no, and to bring her right back in the terroristic sick. Thank you guys, much love. In the world is it stuck? I'm trying to host, everybody know. Have a good night, be safe, be prepared. Marf out. We're gonna head over to Vault 111.